We are live. Hi. Hi, hey everyone. Welcome aboard the Tabletop Express on the table. Now, tonight's episode is very different from our previous on the tables. As you guys know, we talk board games here on the table, and we usually bring on a special guest and we talk. For a while, I've been wanting to do a sort of call in kind of thing where it's all on the fly, no assigned guests, just whoever wants to join, they could join. We could talk games. We're going to have a good time talking about the games we played in March, the games we are looking forward to maybe next month. Maybe you have a Kickstarter coming in, maybe you bought some Game Nerds deal, you know. And we have a topic for today. That topic is what game is currently in danger in your collection? What game, if you need to purge your collection, what game is going to be falling off that shelf? So keep that in mind. Those are the topics. That StreamYard link is there. You can join whenever you'd like. And let's start the show. We have our first guest, and you might know him as the guy who started the Tabletop Express and was silly enough to give me the keys to do this totally off the cuff improv thing. That's Chris Barros. Hiya,
Hey,
Chris.
yeah,
Chris, hi.
I'll steal time at the top so people can jump in, but
Yeah,
I should reinforce I did allow this, right? So
you did. You did.
but I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm hoping people, just so people know too, that it's really easy to jump in. You don't need to go on video. You could just be on audio. So just so you know,
Yeah,
StreamYard's really easy on our end. So please feel like comfortable. You don't have to be on camera as long as you've got a microphone. You can pop in.
that's right. You don't need to be on camera. You just do it through microphone. You can even do it on your phone. You can
Yeah.
literally click the link and talk on your phone. It'll be like a old school call-in, you know?
Yeah. In all fairness, I did come prepared. So it's not like
Of
I just
course.
popped on and said, hey,
I know
whatever, I'm
you
going to go
came
disappear now.
prepared.
I came prepared. So again, please, everyone, just jump on in. We'll see the queue on the back, and then I'm going to disappear here shortly. Ryan might just make me go away, actually.
Disappear as quick as your beard.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Sorry to society. I did want to mention, because I had a chance to play something and I played it with you, and this is the game on my mind this month that I would have talked about in a more standard format. And I got to bring it up. It's called Radlands. I know people out there have played Radlands, and this is, it was funny.
I'm gonna pull
I
up
had,
on,
I think,
on the
Radlands in my
camera.
collection. I think it sat there for like a month and a half. Oh
That
man,
small box. That small
yeah.
box out there.
Well, it's a small box, but there's like 5 million versions of it. There's a deluxe version,
Yeah.
but really in the long run, the small box is perfect. It's literally the perfect size. So we played this, obviously. I really liked it. I think there'll be more coming on it, but for a great little 2-player game, it was a really well-balanced battle game, is I think the way I can best describe it. The balance level of it was solid. And I've tested it a few times. I've done some solo dueling just to kind of test the balance, and the balance is great. So if you have not got a chance to play this, I just highly recommend people check it out, because for the small retail box, I feel like you get, I think it's fair to say,
this photo on the left is this guy is the big deluxe edition, and this is the small retail box. And I go towards the way of the small box. Give me the small box with a lot of punch versus the big box with a lot of extras. I want something that I could fit in my collection, so something doesn't fall off.
It's on the shelf. You can't even see it, so small. It's on the shelf above Campy Creatures.
So I played this with you, and what I really liked about it is it had kind of an Android Netrunner feel.
Mhm.
Because for those of you who haven't played Android Netrunner, it's a two-player card battler where one player is in charge of a corporation and the other player is in charge of the runner. And you're trying to use the runner to go out and hack the corporation servers, which they're just laid out cards, and they put different cards in front of them to like block them. And Radlands kind of plays like the corporation player versus the corporation player. They have the same kind of style.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, Brian asking how good the extras are in the big box. Are they worthwhile? I don't know, honestly. I remember when this was on Kickstarter, I flip flopped a lot on backing this because I really like the art, I like the aesthetic, you know. And when it came to this, it just yeah, I I think I made hopefully the right call and don't regret not getting the Kickstarter goodies. But what about you? Do you regret not getting the Kickstarter goodies?
No, I thought about this. I don't. And the chits that are the
Hmm.
water tokens, because in this game you are fighting each other over water. I mean, that's really what's happening. The chits are fine. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't need anything. And then when it came down to it, I guess the cards were a better quality. That's the only thing I think I would have liked, because it sounds like the cards were something I could have like brought to the pool, and not like worried, like, oh my god, it got
yeah.
wet, right? So
Oh,
for
you mean
that,
literally the pool? Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So I think that I think I would have liked the better card quality probably, but honestly, I'm not bringing it to the pool, so I'm not too concerned. But yeah,
no,
it is. I think it was fine, and the playmats are nice. If I ever got them at a discount, I'd buy them. But
yeah,
so yeah. But that's the game on my mind. Again, I really wanted to just come on. Mostly, I wanted to talk about this game a little bit. We'll do more with it
yeah.
on the channel. But I wanted to encourage some folks, because I
Is that your
know.
favorite game of the month?
Oh, it is my favorite game of the month. There's
Yeah,
that. There's no question. The only other thing I'd mention is I got um Dead Reckoning in. I have not played it
yeah.
yet. So, having not played Dead Reckoning, I don't have much to tell you. It looks pretty.
It does look pretty. It's
It
got
looks
it's
really.
got cards.
It got
It's got
slot. It has a lot of
cards within cards. Yeah.
the sleeving
Um.
process was interesting. So,
Yeah. No,
oh,
definitely. And yeah, I mean, Radlands, I'm happy you got it. Dead Reckoning, yeah.
yep.
I'm gonna play with you. I'm gonna
Sounds
play that
good.
with you.
Sounds good. But I'm not going to hold this up. So I'm going to boot
That's right.
myself, and I'm
You're
going to
gonna boop
say,
yourself. You're not gonna,
yes,
I can't do it.
no, I'm going to do it. You want to
All
boot me?
right.
You can boot me. Boot me.
I'll
Here's
boot you later.
all right.
Thank you. You'll come back later.
Yeah, I'll be
I'm
back.
sure. All right. Bye, Barros. So there's Barros talking about Radlands. Yeah, Radlands is fun. It's only $25. Go pick it up. We have someone else that just joined. I'm gonna add them on into the chat. I told him I'd give him a warning, but I'm not. So we have over here. Welcome. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Can you
Who are
hear
you?
me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Can I be heard?
Yeah. Tell everyone who you are. Tell us where you're from.
I am one half of the podcast, the board game podcast that's sweeping the nation. Two most difficult.
Oh, cool.
My other half, Laura, is out with some friends tonight, and I just put the kiddo down to bed, and I just poured myself a nice pumpkin beer left
Cheers.
over from the fall, because I don't drink beer fast enough, despite what you may have heard.
Sure.
And here I am. Oh, hang on. Oh, I did not do a hair check. Hold
Oh
on.
no,
Hold on. There we
that's
go.
a-okay. Yeah. So welcome to our first ever call-in show.
Oh, well, great. Hopefully it won't be
So
your last one after this.
well, we'll see. So tell us a little bit about Two Most Difficult. How long you've been doing it?
Yeah.
You know.
So we have a lot of games. I tend to say I have a lot of games because it is definitely my problem.
Okay.
I've got some up here,
Yeah.
but what I really have is like the big mess over
Oh
there.
yeah.
It's like 175 games, and I realized after I got back from PAX Unplugged
Oh.
that we had too many games, and we hadn't talked about them at all. We kind of just play them and we go, yeah, it's all right. And then I would go through the shelf and I would unilaterally decide, we're getting rid of this game and we're getting rid of that game. And I would have to hope that I had chosen correctly and
Yeah.
not end up having a big fight. We
Oh,
wouldn't have
I
a big
see.
fight.
With the other
We love
half.
each other very much. I would hope that I had chose correctly and that
Yeah.
it wouldn't end up being like a discussion with a capital D.
No,
So I
sure,
said, well,
sure.
what if we just had a discussion and recorded it? So we stuck this mic right here, right there in the middle of the table once after playing Maglev Metro. And we acted like we had been doing this. We acted like we'd been doing this forever. And we just kind of talked about Maglev Metro, and we liked it. And we thought, well, what if we, and because, the thing about Paul is that I don't mess around. And when I do mess around, I don't mess around. So I immediately bought two, condenser or cardioid mics, some mic stands,
Got
one of
it.
those red USB interfaces that goes into your laptop, plug the mics in.
Oh, yeah.
And we have a podcast now. And, and there we go. We're cataloging our trip through all of the games in our collection. And that way we can document what we like and what we don't like and why we're choosing to keep or get rid of games.
Well, this is a perfect topic then for you tonight, because tonight's topic is
Yes.
in your collection right now. What
Yeah.
game is on the verge of on its way out?
Oh, the verge of on its way out.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to play some hold music because we've been on a hot streak recently.
Yeah.
A lot of the games we've reviewed, we've liked. But I'll tell you, I am looking right now, and I think it's possible Sheriff of Nottingham might be on its way out. That's just immediately where my eye goes. We haven't played it yet, but I got it at a discount, a super steep discount at a local Barnes and Noble that that was closing out. So we got it for like 15 or 20 bucks, and I'd heard great things about it. But then as we both sat down and started reading through it, we haven't played it yet, but we thought, man, this is just like 100% pure bluffing game.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
And I don't know if we're like that. I don't, there's oh, hold on, boom, my phone.
That was Barrows.
Saying stop talking.
He's tagging you.
There are some games that just bluffing is not necessarily a thing for me, like to base an entire game around it. I'm terrible at poker.
Yeah.
I have a terrible poker face. And just an idea of sitting around with four other people all bluffing each other for 90 minutes to me, now that I really think about it, doesn't really sound that awesome, and it doesn't really sound that awesome to Laura either. That said, it's a shame to just like throw a game out without even having tried it. So
don't bother.
That's where my eye goes like right now if I'm just looking right at it.
Well, I actually played Sheriff of Nottingham. I rated it. I gave it a 3.6. So I'm with you on that. I feel
now if I know the BGG rating system where like 1 is this is not a game, this is throwing rocks at a wall, like 3 is like a barely like
pretty bad.
I wouldn't even use this for kindling almost, right? Like you didn't like it at all.
It's just not my thing. It's not my thing as well. There's this the aesthetic. Brian pointed out too that you need the perfect group for it, and I agree for sure. And I for sure am not part of that group. I just it is not for me.
I like a little bit of what have I got in my hand and what have you got in your hand, and if I attack him, like maybe in a war game. Oh, if I attack him, but he plays the reinforcements card, I could lose. Oh, but if he attacks me and he doesn't know that I have a reinforcements card, that is about like within the context of a larger game. I'm here for that. But an entire game where it's nothing but bluffing, if it's anything other than maybe like Liar's Dice, where it's 10 minutes and you're drinking heavily while doing it. But other than that, I don't know if I want to spend 90 minutes, but every game deserves a chance, and it's on there on the shelf until it's not.
Well, do you are so you need a lot of people though. You need like 5 people for that. And so
Yeah,
are you
we
primarily playing 2 player?
no, we have so during quarantine, during the trouble times, and in some places where there still is, but like we're here in Boston, and Boston is a little bit more lax. Our numbers
Yeah.
are down enough, and we had another couple, a friend couple of ours, who we referred to as our quarantine, and
Nice.
they came over every Saturday, and now that things have opened up a little bit, we don't get to see them quite as much, but we get the two of them and another friend of ours. Anyone who's listened to our show knows that we have Rob over a lot. Go back, listen to all 10 of our episodes, and you'll be familiar with Rob. We have
Sure.
Rob over, so there's our 5 right there, and we could play through. We could play through that. We play through anything.
Yeah. I mean, it's been years since I played this one, but
Yeah.
it's no.
Second edition, ours looks a little different. They changed the art style a little bit.
Oh, you have the second edition.
I kind of like this
Yeah.
the old version with the unnerving sheriff on it, but this
Yeah.
one's okay too. This one's all right.
Yeah, he definitely has that face. Just,
He does have that face.
So people could find you at 2 most difficult.
Yeah. So you can well, anywhere your favorite podcasts are sold, like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts,
Yep.
or you could just find us at twomostdifficult.podbean.com. That's where we're no Max Fun. We can't host our own podcast, so I have to pay someone else to do it. And so
No.
twomostdifficult.podbean.com, or you can just find us on Apple Podcasts or any Spotify, any place like that.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds great. So, well, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for coming in, talking about
Sure.
Sheriff Nottingham.
Yeah. I'll stick around, and if there's rather than have dead air, if I want to poke my head back in, if you want me to poke my head back in, I'd be happy to.
Sounds good. All right.
On to the next one.
On to the next one. All right. So we are on a roll. It looks like this is great. I'm happy where this is going. So again, the topic for today is what game is on the verge of leaving your collection. So you just got an amazing game in, and you got to make room. What game is coming off your shelf? That's one way to look at it. You could also talk about too, what was your favorite game of the month? Barros just talked about Radlands. And you could talk about what you look forward to getting. Maybe next month, maybe have some Kickstarter coming in. So, anyways, we have our next surprise guest up. I'll be adding him right now. Hi.
Hi, Ryan. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? So tell us your name.
Good.
Tell us everything.
Hi, friends. I'm Ruel Gaviola, and I'm so happy to be here. You can find me all over the interwebs, streaming games, doing videos. I host a weekly live stream with Rado over on his channel. Rado Runs Through, the R&R show. I'm also a co-host of Good Looking Kickstarters with Becca Scott. That one's actually, we're putting out, it's on hiatus right now, but that show, we look at different Kickstarters every couple of weeks. And I play games on my Twitch channel several times a week. And I'm actually, if y'all are catching this live right now, I'm actually getting ready to do my next stream in about 35 minutes or so with my wife. So
nice.
Thanks again for having me on, Ryan. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. So what game are you playing tonight?
Tonight, we're actually, fun fact, we're not actually playing a game tonight. We're doing something different. Every now and then we change it up, and we are building Star Wars Legos R2-D2. Nice. We're about 2/3 of the way done with it. And this is the first set that we've owned as adults, and it's been awesome, man. I've been blown away, like how intricate this thing is. It's like over 2,000 pieces. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, Lego does some great stuff. I'm excited about tomorrow because they're releasing the DeLorean from Back to the Future.
Oh, is that tomorrow?
Oh, yeah, it's like nice. It's like this big set.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. It's funny because I just got this thing thanks to the wonderful members of my Discord community. They surprised me last month and gave us this set, and now it's like I'm all Lego, like fiending. It's like, oh, what do I get next?
Oh man. Well, there you go. Tomorrow's the day. Well, awesome. So do you have a game for one of the 3 topics?
Yeah, the topic I wanted to talk about is favorite game of the month.
Okay.
And so I do this thing called Ruel's Wrap Up once a month. I live stream the game. I talk about the games I've played in the previous month. So
Yeah.
I was looking at the list, and I haven't really I've narrowed it down to three or four favorites that I'm gonna find out the exact favorite tonight when I do my research. But the one I want to highlight is Last Light. This is the game by Roy Canaday. It's going to come to, I think, Kickstarter through Gray Fox Games at later in April. I think
Yeah, I have it right
mid to
here.
late April. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, Last
That's
Light.
Roy from Dice Tower, right?
Yes, that is Roy from Dice Tower. I got to play this earlier this month at Dice Tower West over there in Vegas.
Okay.
And Roy had set up a game for me, a couple of friends of mine, my buddies Pat and Chris, and also Thinker Themer. They were, Amy and Maggie were great. And also Justin from Meeple Mountain. So we played this 6-player game. It's a 4X game. Ryan, I kid you not. That game was exactly 1 hour. And I was blown away. A 4X game in an hour, man. I didn't think it was possible. It truly is. And it was so good. Roy did, as a first-time designer, he did a lot of cool things. He streamlined a lot of the 4X stuff, and you have simultaneous action selection, which really cut down on downtime. And it's just, man, it's so cool. Like in that first round, you're already like exploring, exploiting, exterminating. Like on the first round, like I got into a fight with my buddy, Pat, and he demolished my forces. But then on the next turn, I was able to rebuild them and stuff. So it's got all the 4X stuff, and Roy's done such a great job with it. I think it's going to be a huge hit over there on GameFound. I'm really pumped about it, and that's probably my favorite game last month was Last Light.
Oh, nice. So that's coming on GameFound. That's awesome. I'm so happy that GameFound is now open to having all board game creators. Like, bring it on, bring it on.
Yeah. The Kickstarter. They'll still be around. They're not going anywhere. But just with some of the stuff that they're the whole blockchain thing, like people don't agree with it. That's cool. Like I'm all about competition. Like why not have another one out there? And I've backed stuff on GameFound. No problems. I think
I have already.
They seem to be great with creators, and that's what it comes down to. Work with your creators and get those games out there. So yeah, I'm super excited about Last Light.
That's awesome. And for Last Light sounds exactly like the game that Roy kind of like goes towards. Like he likes Eclipse and TI4 and all the space. I love Zaya.
Yeah, we had talked about that a little before the games. Roy and I were both Twilight Imperium fans, and
nice.
And also we're both. He's played it more. I've only played a few times, but the game I played Twilight Imperium much. Well, what's the game that we were? Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea.
Oh yeah,
he's a huge fan of that game. I've only played it a couple times, but I really like that, and I feel like I saw some of that game in his game as far as like streamlining actions, and you've got like a follow action, I believe, in his game where almost like sort of like there's a follow action in Heroes Land and Air and Sea where you play a card and then someone can play like a weaker version of that action type thing. So yeah, he's got a hit on his hands, man.
I have to check this out.
Yeah.
Did he tell you when it's coming out? I see that there's a website for it.
Yeah, there's a website there, and he actually does. If you want to play it, he does. I think he has a TTS mod on there that he'll share with you. When I talked to him earlier this month, he was saying like mid-April or so. But again, I don't know. These dates are always fluid, so maybe mid to late April. Yeah.
Yeah, no. That's how it always goes with these Kickstarters,
Yeah.
So
that one looks really good,
and it's always a scare,
Oh yeah.
So how long have you been? I've seen you do videos with Rado. How long have you been doing all this?
So I've been working in the game industry for about, let me see. So I got in the hobby in 2015. I was trying to do I was thinking about this the other day. I think it was 2015 or 2016. So it's about 6 years or so. And I started writing. I'm a writer by trade. So I was writing for a little a website called I Slay the Dragon, and they did reviews. So I would, contribute. I did a news column for them for a while. Then I started writing reviews, and from there, I landed a gig with Geek and Sundry when they were still, happening. So I was writing articles for them, and I wrote a bunch. And my editor, we really got along. She's like, I want to shout out Terry. She was like been a mentor for me in the industry, and she gave me a shot to go on the Becca Scott's show, Game the Game. And I was like, sure, yeah, I'm in California. I'm in Southern California. The studio was in Burbank. And I said, yeah, I'll drive out. and Becca couldn't have been a better host. She was wonderful. I'd never done anything like this before. So to actually go to a studio, I mean, Ryan, they fed me. I was like, they gave me lunch, dude, to play games. I'm like, I'm getting paid. I'm getting fed to play games. Like, I want to do this all the time.
That's the dream.
For real, man, for real. So we did that, and just Becca and the director Jake at the time, they we just connected, and they had me back on a few times. I actually became friends with both of them. And Jake Michaels, he's a good friend of mine now. He's the one that actually introduced me to Twilight Imperium. So
okay,
from that, we kept working together, and she actually launched her own company, Good Time Society, with Jake, and then they started doing their stuff, like gameplay. They have me on, so I was doing videos with them. And again, that just leads to other opportunities. Rado noticed me. I was, during the pandemic, when that first hit, the Geek and Sundry stuff, I was doing stuff for Renegade. Everything just stopped, because you couldn't go to studios anymore.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, now what? And because I was live streaming for Renegade, I was like, I can't go to the studio anymore. So I just started doing stuff on Facebook Live with my family. I was like, I talked to my wife. I was like, hey, Michelle, you want to play a game tonight? We can put it on Facebook. Sure. And it's just it was literally my old laptop and a smartphone like strapped to this tripod, like honestly with duct tape, man. I duct taped it up there. You do what you got to do, right?
You do what you got to do. Yeah. I just got a webcam. Don't worry.
Yeah, whatever works, So I was doing that for a while, and Rado noticed me, and his manager actually reached out to me. He's like, hey, we'd love to work with you. And I was like, cool. And it took us a little while to figure it out. Like, how am I going to come onto the channel? So we finally figured out the R&R show. Let's do a weekly live stream, because that's my thing. I love live streams because, confession, video stuff, I love doing it, but I'm not an editor. So
I was going to say,
live stream.
That's exactly why we do live streams here.
Right? Like, I don't need to do the editing. Let's just do it live. If you mess up, you mess up. Oh, well, live,
I've done enough editing in my life. No, thank you. You know?
Totally. So, and then that's just led me to today, where, I still live stream a bunch every week, and I partner with different companies to live stream their games, or I work with them. I do podcasts, and I'm on the Board Game Spotlight podcast now, which is terrific. But I try to keep busy. Like I tell my friends all the time, keep me busy so I stay out of trouble.
That's the way. That's awesome. So that's great. So I am going to check out Last Light. Before I let you go, do you have anything to add?
No, I just again, thanks for the opportunity to hang out and talk. Let me see. I got my phone here. I don't know if y'all use BG Stats. I've got my BG Stats.
Yeah, I got my BG Stats.
Okay, cool. Before I came on, I was wondering, okay, what am I going to talk about? So I found Last Light.
That's how I track it. Yeah.
Nice. Yes. Yeah. Did you back, or did you play Three Sisters? Have you played that one yet?
So Barrows has on the channel. Chris Barrows has. I have not played it yet.
Okay.
I haven't played that. I haven't played Fleet, the dice game.
Oh, okay. See, I haven't played
I'm
Fleet
all behind.
Either. Yeah, I haven't played Fleet either. I backed Three Sisters because I love the designers, Ben Pinchback and Matt Riddle.
Yeah.
To me, they're like the Snoop and Dre
Riddleback
designers. Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah.
So I backed that, and I played it recently, and I just live streamed a solo game of it today, and it kicked my butt. But man, I love that game. I think it automatically, like after a couple of plays, it's in my top 10 all-time roll and write games. It might be like my top 5. It's wonderful.
Nice.
And I just wanted to tell everyone, get that game. It's fantastic. And
awesome.
That'll do it.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much for joining. And I'll talk to you later. So that's great. Three Sisters I do want to play for sure. I think the new one is Motor City in that line or something along those lines. It's got a blue car. It's got a blue muscle car. But anyways, we have some people in the queue. I'm going to go on to our next caller. And for those of you can join in. You don't need a camera. Don't feel pressured if you don't want to do camera. You could do just talk on the phone even. The topics again are favorite game of this month that was, like new to you. What are you looking forward to maybe next month? And the big topic is what game is on the verge of leaving your collection. So the next person I'm bringing on, I already told this guy the topic. This guy knows it. He was just on the channel earlier this week. His name is also Ryan, but we affectionately call him Squirrel because that's
me.
You tell us to call you. And it makes it so much easier than just calling you Ryan.
You can call me Squirrel. Yeah, just call me Squirrel. There are so many Ryans that we talk about and talk with, so Squirrel is just fine.
Yeah. Well, welcome back to the Tabletop Express, sir.
It's been so long. It's
been a couple days. So you did your first live teach Q&A.
I did.
On Tuesday.
That was Now or Never. That was great.
It was Now or Never, and not once did I break out into Elvis. And I really held back.
You said you would, though.
I know.
I was looking forward to it.
I really held back, but I didn't want our videos to get removed. But if I thought you were doing a poor job, I would start singing Now or Never in hopes that, I'd be like, well, it was YouTube's fault. I don't know why this video is not here.
That would have been the ultimate hint right there.
No, I'm just messing with you. So welcome back to the show. So
thank you.
What game would you like to talk about today?
I mean, there's a couple. I'll not get into much of them. But if you want to talk about games that we played this month, I played a couple with you. In fact, some that I've never played before, and I hope you liked a lot of them. For those who don't know, Espen is big into train games. Yeah, exactly. So we played Imperial Steam, which I believe is right there behind you.
It is right there behind me, but
that was an incredible worker placement, action selection kind of game, and I fell in love with it, and I'm looking forward to playing it with you again.
This is crunchy.
Very crunchy.
It doesn't matter how much milk you put on this. It just stays crunchy. You know what I mean? Like this is like, my brain exploded. I loved it. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah.
But Imperial Steam,
If you've ever played Railroad Revolution, which is back there on my shelf somewhere, if you've ever played that, think of that times 10 for intensity.
Yeah.
It's pretty much that.
It's really funny you say that, by the way, because that Imperial Steam might be the reason why Railroad Revolution leaves my collection.
Oh no.
It might.
Oh no.
I heard good things about the expansion, but it's like ridiculous to find. It's like, because it's out of print.
So. Well, I happen to have a copy.
I know you have it. I know, and it's another reason to get rid of it too. I know you have it.
Yeah, if you ever want to play it again, there's that.
Yeah.
And also, you showed me Imperial Steam. In fact, you taught it to me, so thank you very much for that. On the flip side, I taught you Mini Express.
Oh yeah.
Mini Express, I think, was a really, really good train.
Cube rails.
Yeah, it's a cube rails. Yeah.
Might be my favorite cube rails.
Oh, I'm glad you think that way.
Yeah, I mean it. It might be my favorite cube rails for sure. Go ahead. Talk about it, and then I'll chime in.
Mini Express does a very, very incredible job of balancing what you want to do as opposed to anything else that happens from that. So what I mean by that is, if you run trains, then you're going to make other people that are playing with you, they're going to probably want to buy stock, because the more trains you spend from their pool of trains that they have, the less costly a stock is. When you buy a stock, you only pay influence equal to how many trains are left in their stock. So I'm sorry, they're using stock, the word stock interchangeably, but but yeah, you run trains, that makes their stock certificates cheaper. So people are going to get stock certificates, which is the points at the end of the game. But when you buy a stock, you also add trains back into the supply of that company. And so there's a balance there. There's also a balance of, you want to try to stay high on the influence track, because at the end of the game, the higher you are on the influence track, the more points you get per stock that you have of that company.
Right.
So, but you have to spend that influence in order to buy stock. So there's just so many different balances that they have going on. It's like, do I want to take that? If I do, it makes it cheaper for them, which makes money less valuable. But at the same time, it raises the influence. There's a lot of things going on in this little game that takes about 40 minutes to play.
It's great trade-offs. And so bringing it back to other Cube Rails games, we got Irish Gauge, right? Iberian Gauge. Mm-hmm. We have Ride the Rails. We have Chicago Express. We have Paris Connection. There's tons of these Cube Rails games. We even have Mini Rails, which I haven't played yet. But the thing about the Cube Rails games, you need high player counts.
Yeah.
And we were able to play 2-player. There's a bot that actually does really well, because the bot just messes with the game. It just takes the game as like, nope, I'm just gonna screw this over. And it's I highly recommend it. at all player counts, just because I know it's solid at 2, and I could, and it even has solo mode. So that
does.
same bot you're playing against in solo. So I could see it going pretty well.
Yeah.
Obviously because of the times that we've been in, solo gaming has gone up. So
It has.
I for sure like finding solo games. And yeah, Mini Express. Yeah, this is a great game. This is a great game.
I
And
totally
it's
agree.
designed by the same guy that Steamrollers, right?
Yes, in fact, yes. The
Mark
name is escaping.
Garrett's.
There it is, Mark Garrett's. Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are 2 big games that I recently played. But the big one that I recently played is right next to me. I'm not going to talk much about it, but it's this guy.
I knew you'd bring it up.
Yeah, of course.
You had to. Dead Reckoning.
I'm a huge fan of pirate-themed games. And thank you, by the way, Espen, for letting me borrow your Merchants and Marauders.
Yeah.
And I played it. It is drizzling, oozing with theme in Merchants and Marauders, but it still wasn't exactly my kind of game.
Right.
This one, not as oozy when it comes to the theme. Very, very huge into the pirate theme, though. It did a really good job with that. But it also has this card crafting system that AEG has, where you have these clear sleeves, and when you buy an advancement on one of your characters, you're going to have 12 character cards the entire game, and that's all you're going to have.
Yeah,
it looks just like that. You're going to have 12 character cards in the entire game, but you're just going to be increasing their abilities by slotting in these clear cards that like slip in, and you can see the abilities on it. And there's like 3 slots, so you can have up to 4 abilities, the base ability on the card, and then up to 3 more depending on what you sleeve into that card. So your character gets more and more powerful as you're playing the game, and you're just doing all sorts of things, going to islands, taking treasure, attacking merchant ships, attacking other players. It's really, really, really well done too. It's really balanced, and there's only 2 forms of currency in the game, but you want money at the end.
Yeah.
And you also have barrels, which is just stock that you use to buy these upgrades, and that's it. That's all you use in the game, and it has achievements at the top, and the first of 4 achievements triggers the end of the game. And so it's kind of like Scythe in that kind of sense, where this is considered a 4X. Yeah, this is a good way. This is a good 4X. Or it's kind of like 4X, kind of like Scythe in that sense in particular. But you are going out and exploring new islands. You're fighting. You're building up your characters, and it's just really good.
Does it feel like a pirate game though?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, it does.
It's not like Great Western Trail. Like Great Western Trail does not feel like a Western game.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
The art makes it look like a Western, but other than that, you could pretty much do anything, which I think they're doing.
Yeah.
But no, this one definitely, you can go on. You're either a merchant, you're a pirate, you are a explorer. You can change kind of how you want to play the game depending on the upgrades that you get and the cards that you level up. So, but yeah, it definitely felt like a pirate game, especially the battle system is really unique as well. The more cannons you have on your cards when you go into battle, the more cubes you're dropping into this pirate ship that was made into a dice tower.
That's what this is, right? Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what that is. And they come out onto this board, and depending on where your cubes end up, that's what you do. You either plunder, you do damage, you win victory over the other, whatever you're fighting. You can fight buildings too, by the way.
Man, what a gimmick.
Oh yeah, it is insanely good. There's also exploding cubes. Everyone knows, most people know exploding dice is when there's a 6 rolled, you pick it up and you roll it again, and you count that as an extra die. In this one, there's an exploding spot on the battle board where you pick up a cube, add another one, and drop them again.
That's so wild.
It is. I'm looking forward to playing this with you. I swear you're going to love it.
I probably will. Will.
I know Barrows has it, and he's looking forward to playing it too. So maybe we all 3 should get together.
It says best with 3.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah.
Best with 3 could be.
But aside from that, I mean, I'm just playing other small games like Regicide.
Oh, I love Regicide. You know that.
I almost won solo. I was on the last king, and I just didn't have a hand.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you bring up Regicide, sir, because I taught Regicide to someone who's in the queue right now.
Ooh, who's that?
So before I let you go, do you want to? Is there anything you want to just say?
Oh,
Or you're all
sure.
good?
I know your topic is what you're looking forward to playing this month.
Yeah.
The next game I'm probably going to play is this one
hmm
by First Time Designer. And I heard this was a really good game. It's very, very heavy, so it's like in the 4.2 thing I range.
Yeah, I want to try that one.
But because of Dead Reckoning and how huge the box is, I know the big topic of tonight is what game is leaving your shelf.
Yeah.
And I looked and it's really hard, but it's likely going to be this one right here.
Oh, man.
The Necromancers. Yeah. There's quite a bit of area control games that I have, and you have El Grande, and
That's all you need. It's all you need for area control.
But yeah, that's probably leaving my shelf. But aside from that, I'm just looking forward to playing many games that I have still in the basement on the shelf of opportunity.
We'll get to it. I know we need to sit down and do schedules and have game days.
We do.
We'll get it soon. But, sir, it's been a pleasure.
Oh,
I'll see you.
Oh, geez. My squirrel mug.
There you go. Squirrel mug. Ghostbuster mug. Cheers. See you later.
Take care.
All right. So we are rolling with this live stream tonight, huh? Okay. So I have someone on the channel that I'm gonna bring to the channel, who I taught Regicide to last year on our live stream, and he's nodding, so he knows he's gonna come on right now. And that right now is the board game dad, Anthony Batista. How are you?
What's up? How are you? Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Cool.
How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. Allergy medicine and whiskey. So how can
Yeah,
you go wrong?
pretty much here too. Well, it's just tea and allergy medicine. Cause like for real, it's just
The
going nuts right now.
Regicide though. The Regicide. That was clutch.
It was so good, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, so he
And-
showed the official deck, but I still prefer the deck we played. We had like the musicians deck. It was like all different musicians and stuff. Like we were
Yeah,
up
that
against,
was that added an entire another level
Yeah.
2 game to the point where there's been worse reskins of stuff, right? Like
Yeah,
you could throw anything on that game and really get away with it. So
and it
I want
worked.
to see some of that. Prince wins. Yes. you're right.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Always Prince wins. You know for me. I almost wore my
Always.
Prince shirt, but I was like, I'll keep it subtle. But anyway.
I got the
Abbey Road.
Beatles. Were they in the game in the cards?
They were John Lennon
John
and
was
Paul McCartney were in
okay.
there.
Just 2 of them. Got it.
Yeah. No
Cool.
Ringo.
Eh.
Sorry. Yeah, right? Come on.
Ringo's he's having a good time. Peace and love. He tours like crazy. He's still making albums. He's fine.
So,
whatever.
anyways, today's topic, right?
Today's topic.
Today's topic is we have 3 of them. You could choose 1. You could choose 2 if you want to.
Smart.
Whatever you want.
Did you come up with that, or was that Barrow's?
Right here.
Yeah,
Right here. This is not a Barrow's idea. This is all me. This is all me today. So I told him, give me the keys. I'm gonna ride today. Let's just do it live.
Take it.
So, topics today. It's what game of this month did you play that was new to you that you really loved? So like your game of the month.
Mhm.
What game, upcoming game are you looking forward to? Maybe like something coming next month or something. And finally, the big topic is what game in your collection is on its way out. So you got this amazing game come in. You got to make room. What game is the first one that's coming off that shelf of yours?
These are all fantastic questions, by the way.
Yeah, that one I really like though. That's like, yeah.
It's funny for me. They all kind of revolve around the same situation right now, which is I am in my game room, which is currently the messiest it has ever been, and that's because we did a little bit of renovation back here, where we basically reclaim some space on the other side of that wall, essentially making this a giant like closet type area.
Nice.
Home to my first future Calyx, hopefully.
Oh, it's so nice.
So there's that, right? All the games are all over the place. I have no idea how many I'm going to fit in the Calyx when I get it. So the current state of like game ownership here is very much in limbo. And again,
Yeah.
to the points, what's gonna get the drop if I do have to get rid of something? I haven't done a cull in a while, but there are a couple of games that I know for sure last time were on the maybe pile and kind of
Yeah.
just like stuck around for a little bit. One of them is Trains and Stations, which I think I only still keep because it's an Eric Lang game, and it's the only Eric Lang game that I have.
I own this one. Where is it?
Oh, there you go.
I own this one. Hang
Then I
on.
can get rid of it.
You can get rid of it. I own this one. It says best of 4. I haven't tried it yet. Yeah, because it's an Eric Lang train game.
I like the game. I like the dice. The board
Yeah.
could be a little bit bigger.
Oh, you've played it.
My biggest issue is it requires 3 players.
Yeah.
And in this current state of stuff, that's just like almost never going to happen. And if it does, if I have 3 people playing a game, because there's so many amazing games, not that the game is
Yeah.
not cool, but it's probably not going to come up to the top of the list. So I'm thinking that maybe the fact that you own it means I can still play it if I really want to.
Yeah, and it's a big box. It's like
It is a strange shape,
Yeah.
large type box. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's in that pile, I think. Somewhere.
So there's that, and I think the other one that kind of like still stuck around just for maybe some. It's definitely one of the older games in my collection. That's Zularetto.
Oh
Is that
yeah.
that game?
I just recently replayed it.
Yeah?
BGA.
How did it play for you as
It was
a
awful.
in,
I
for
did
real?
not.
You didn't like it?
Yeah, for real. Like
Yeah, I'm thinking
it's
that.
just- And you know what's funny? I played this years ago. Like I think maybe 2008, 2009. There was like a gaming group at the Panera at Menlo Park Mall, and I went to play there.
That's
And
awesome.
Zularetto was one of the games we played, and I had the same impression. Like it was fine, but like, yeah, you know.
It's
And
another one that I think plays best. It doesn't play well at 2. There's like
right,
there's other setup, and so the rules just get really like
it's
finicky,
messy.
and it's maybe, and it's an older game at this point, right? So
Yeah,
I think there's definitely enough other games in my collection that do all the stuff that Zularetto does. Maybe
right.
not at the same exact time, but meh. There's definitely no lack of animal games, that's for sure. So
I
there's that.
know. Oh, I know. Have you played the big one yet? The big hype animal
Arc
game right
Nova?
now. Yeah,
No, I have not.
yeah. I
I have
have it.
not. Yeah, I'll have to get that. I'll have to get that in. But a couple of my, I definitely have. I think currently the most like unplayed games in my collection as well. So
Mm,
the other question about what I'm looking forward to to playing is like I just want to play something new,
yeah.
and I did kind of. So we played with the new Isle of Cats stuff,
Okay.
most of it anyway. So the
It's
new
the new
Kickstarter,
expansion.
yeah, there's a couple of the
Is
the 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 main thing is like 3 modular expansions that came in the
uh
one box.
yeah, I see a couple here. Kittens and Beasts, Explore and Draw,
Yep,
Boat
yep,
Pack, all that.
yep. So the boat pack is just extra boards, which is cool, and they're
Yeah.
actually a different layout than the original ones.
Okay.
And then
Oh yeah, I see it. It's weird.
yeah, they're pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
Um, one of them even has a giant like water wheel in the middle of it, and it kind of
That's
like separates the rooms a little bit.
that's cool.
Um,
Oh, is it this one? Oh, this one's like 2 boats. No, is that what that is? No.
I don't know what
I
that
think it's
picture is of. There might just be
yeah, it's like
a
a
photo of 2
promo.
of them side by side. Yeah,
Oh,
but they
here's the water
also
wheel.
there you go. Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yeah. It's pretty cool, and the artwork's so all like kind of slightly different.
Yeah.
But doesn't change the game too much. The 3 like mini expansions mess the game up a little bit, not mess it up, change it rather. But I think most of them. So I've only played 2 out of 3. One of them just adds these kitten tiles, which are a little bit smaller than the regular cats. They're like 2 or 3 spaces,
Okay.
and then they can be added to any family as usual. You pay extra fish for them or whatever. Um, and then the other one is the beasts, which want to befriend certain colored family cats.
Yeah.
So if you can get a family adjacent to that one particular square on the beast tile, you'll get extra points at the end as well.
Yeah, I'm pulling them
Um,
up right now. Oh, I see the kittens. That's cute.
yeah, so the The kittens are pretty cool because in this game, as you know,
Yeah.
there are many instances where you're like, man, I wish I had a piece that was this shape, or there's just one little hole that I can't cover with anything else because there's no
Yeah.
treasure left. So you get some kittens now.
I still need to play this in person. I've only done it on Board Game Arena, async. And
That's a good game to play on that because there's no setup. It's
you think
just,
so? I feel like
well,
there's a lot of like I feel like I would enjoy it more in person because there's a lot of like, do you want to play an anytime card? Do you want to play an anytime card?
well, that's true. That's true.
You know, it's constantly that. I get it because there is a time sure I would like to play an anytime card, but
Wow, Two Most Difficult says they played Isle of Cats 6 players.
oh, hang on, let me
How
pull it up.
how long did that take?
I don't
That's a
know.
lot of
Yeah, how
players.
long was a 6-player game? And yeah, Brian saying async was miserable. He was he was in it on me with that. He was in some games of that with me. And yeah, I feel like, oh my God, 4 hours of Isle of Cats. Oh man.
That's a lot.
Oh man.
That's a lot of
Oh,
cats.
oh boy. Oh boy. I'm
But
okay
there's a
with
lot of
4-hour board games.
yeah, but I'd rather play like 2 2-hour games or even
Right.
4 1-hour games.
Right. I wouldn't want to play a game that extends its welcome, you know.
For sure, for sure.
So
But the Kickstarter stuff is really cool. The Beast tokens are awesome. And then there's also another module that I didn't play with, which adds events to the game. I think it just alters a bunch of stuff. Maybe like how you buy cats or not buy cats, feed
yeah.
cats or something like that. But I also did play the Explore and Draw, which is the flip and write version of the game,
Let me pull that
which
up.
is pretty cool. And it was able to be played remotely. So that's a bonus
Explore
for
and
that as well.
Draw of Isle of Cats.
Yeah.
Man, there's so much Isle of Cats.
Yeah, there is a
Oh,
lot.
I pulled up Amazon. Hang on. There it is.
I would imagine this would be a standalone game at some point.
So is it a roll and write? I'm confused.
It's kind of a flip and write, but you have
Yeah.
the biggest difference is you have a grid of these cards out to take. I think it's a 3x4 grid,
Yeah.
and everyone is picking a row to draw or a column. I forget which one is shorter,
Okay.
but like everyone has access to that. So
Yeah.
you're not like taking any of these cards. There you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
So like we can draw the same 3 cards, you and I, they don't go away, and then you just replace them all for the next round. So the lessons here, you have like
They're
a separate
costly.
lesson board, and you
Yeah.
just like check it off when it comes out if that's the one that you're picking, and then you refer to it. They
Oh, I
did a good
see.
job. Yeah.
Yeah, on the left-hand side over here, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
It's pretty intuitive actually. So a good implementation for sure. I don't
Yeah.
know if I need to
Cookies.
own it, but it was fun.
But this is a standalone, is it not? Or
It's got to be. Yeah,
yeah.
but I know it came with the Kickstarter if you went all
Oh,
in
I
on it,
see.
I think. I didn't get that part, but I did
Got
play
it.
it.
Yeah, it seems cool. It's got solo mode. Always look forward to that,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But
So yeah, I don't know. Did that answer all the questions? I forget.
I think so. What are you looking for? Oh, what was your game of the month? Did we say that?
Oh, right. Okay, so I finally got to play Can't Stop for the first time.
Oh man, hang on. Before you do, because I can't wait to hear this. So Danielle's saying she's looking forward to Explore and Draw, and that she does hope it goes to retail. I
I'd
probably
be
will
shocked
if
if
it
it
goes
didn't. Yeah,
successful enough.
yeah.
Okay, let me just frame this. Let me frame this. It was this month we did our favorite luck games.
I know.
And we were all surprised. We all assumed that all of us would just have Can't Stop on our list, but it turned out you never played. All
And
right.
then I had played it like I think the day before we did the video.
Okay.
And it was a lot of fun. I played it remotely, I should add. It wasn't even in person, and it was
PGA?
still a ton of fun. No, good friends of ours, Mariella and Steve own the game, and we play remotely with them at least once a week. We try to, and
Yeah.
they had it set up just enough, just enough camera angle that I could see where everything was, and it was awesome. Yeah, I get the hype.
You get the hype?
Yeah, it was great. So I think
I
it was a highlight, and then we have been doing a lot of Pandemic Legacy, so that's like kind of an
Oh,
ongoing
nice.
thing.
Which
Not going to
season?
spoil anything. Season 1. Season
good.
1. So it's me and my wife and our friend and neighbor Holly,
Okay.
and it's all of our first time doing a legacy game. So
Oh,
it's been
really?
yeah, it's been a cool experience.
Oh, it's a great one to get into, for
Yeah.
sure. That's a good gateway legacy.
For sure.
Yeah.
And she had never played base Pandemic before, and she picked it up real quick.
Yeah.
And we've been really good about playing like once a week. So we're doing good. We're halfway through.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, you also run another channel. That's
Do.
Board Game Dads.
Board Game Dads, indeed.
You just came out with a
So
video recently too, I think, right?
we did. We
I don't remember the name of it, but I remember the thumbnail was like this.
Well,
It was
so this
like
is our second Kickstarter day video. Yes. So Eric and I, it's very difficult to come up with thumbnails because I try to
No, I
get
love
Eric
it.
to
It's
take
fun.
like normal pictures sometimes, and then he'll
Yeah.
send me something and I'd be like, "That's not normal," but I'll use it anyway. But yeah, we did our second Kickstarter day video where we highlighted Isle of Cats, which you just talked about,
Yeah.
along with what Chris mentioned earlier, Dead Reckoning,
Yeah.
and then also Creature Comforts. So we took a
Nice.
little quick first look at those. So there's
That's-
that, and then coming
Creature
up,
Comfort's got a lot of buzz
who knows?
too.
Creature Comforts got a lot of buzz, and it's something I would probably pick up if it was on sale.
Nice.
But I can't buy any more games.
Don't do it. But if you did, I know which ones you're gonna get rid of. No worries.
We do the subscription service Unbox Boredom. So every
Okay.
first of the month we get a new game, or we pick a new game. And so tomorrow I'll have a choice of 3 games to choose from.
Ah.
And many of those unfortunately are in the unplayed pile because
Yeah.
they come once a month and I just don't have time to play them all.
I get it. You
So
know,
that's that.
that's the Board Game Dad life. But
Thank
thanks so
you
much
for
for
having me
joining.
on, man. Love
Yeah.
the call-in special, and keep on
Yeah.
rolling. You're doing awesome.
All right. Thanks so much. Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye. Oh man, this is fun. This is really fun. Okay. All right. I'm having a good time. I'm just stretching my legs a little bit. I've been sitting here. So we are going to be bringing on a next guest. Now this guy right here, he just did his top 20 this month. Yeah. So now you know who I'm pulling. He did his top 20 on the channel this month, and man, I was not expecting number 1 for sure, but I guess I didn't know what to expect. So I'm gonna bring up on board from the West Coast. We have Brian Chandler. Hi.
Hey Ryan, how's it going?
It's going great. How are you?
Good. I'm good. I'm kind of on a weird Chromebook setup right now, so I'm undisclosed location in my basement on a house setup. But yeah,
That's
good.
Okay.
What a great show! I can't believe like Gruel and Paul and others have showed up. This is a great idea.
Yeah, this is
cool.
wild. This is I mean, I was hoping we that one day we would do a call-in show. So here we are. We're doing it. We're doing it.
So yeah, I got answers, at least one.
Okay.
So I'm going to start backwards. I'm really bad at purging games. I don't know that I've ever gotten rid of a game yet. Now, I'm pretty new to the hobby. I really only started as an adult in 2018. So I'm still on that. I had that first purge where you buy a whole bunch of games the first 2 years.
Yeah.
So I have way too many games, including bad ones that I've never played, but they were, 82% off on Amazon or something. So I have plenty of those.
I know that feeling.
But I also started growing that collection right when COVID hit in early 2020. So now I have a lot of these games that I'm like, oh man, but once we get back to being in person again, or once I have like nieces and nephews over or something, then surely I'm going to pull out these games that I may or may not ever actually pull out in real life. So,
That's awesome.
So I don't have a good answer to that one. I've spent the last month, as you know, house hunting here in the Washington area. We finally found a house, and so that part's settled.
Congratulations.
But because of that, I've been very much not playing games. Frankly, I've played very little, and Board Game Arena has kind of been the saving grace. You know, we've played a couple games of Agricola, which I'm starting to learn. I don't know that I've actually learned it yet, as you can see from my scores. But
we still need a sit down time. I would love to walk you through it. I would love.
Yeah, we haven't done the real teach. So yeah, for those listening, Ryan and Barrows and I are playing async. I'm learning Agricola async BGA style, which I would not recommend. But it's still been fun. It's been good. So I'm making mistakes and asking questions in the chat, and it's still been fun. So that's actually, maybe that's one of my favorite games I'm learning. I think I actually will love that game on the table. So that's on my radar to probably pick it up.
It's aesthetically really nice because when you're done, you have this beautiful farm you made, you know, or not so good looking farm, but most of the times you'll have the animals and, you know, they could play with it, you know.
Yeah, very good. But between that and I'm looking at my list here, Azul played a couple games of Happy City and Welcome to, all on BGA. So maybe my kind of thing of the month has been BGA, just because I haven't gotten to an actual table much. I've been running around the whole region, looking at houses and all that kind of stuff. So because of that, I've got a nice stack of games that I have been collecting the last couple of months or so that haven't gotten to the table yet. Probably the obvious one would be Libertalia. I haven't actually played that yet. I've unboxed it and looked at the pretty pieces. Have played a BGA version of the old game. Yeah. So excited to pull that out and give that a try. But probably my number one I'm most excited about is Paladins of the West Kingdom. I finally picked that one up. I've only played Architects in that series. I guess a little bit of Raiders of the North Sea on like iPad or something. Yeah. But Paladins is new to me. I haven't played it yet. I've heard that it's a little bit heavier than Architects.
It is. I haven't played Architects, but I know it's heavy. Yeah. I know it's heavier.
Yeah. I've mostly played Architects solo, but I've played both and liked it a lot. Love the theme and art style and the whole vibe of it. So looking forward to, now that I have a little bit of brain space, I think getting a little bit heavier game on the table. So yeah, excited to give Paladins a try. And I know they've got a brand new game, right? They're going south now.
Oh, are they?
On the Tigris or something? I don't have the name of the game, but yeah, I think the Kickstarter is not out yet, but they're going to have a
Scholars of the South Tigris.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's the next one.
Wayfarers of the South Tigris.
And Ryan, you have played Paladins, right?
I've played Paladins. I've only ever played 2 Shem Phillips games. I've played Paladins and I've played Raiders of the North Sea. So I played Raiders first, just the base game. I did not like it at all. I know Barrows is going to try to change my mind on it in an upcoming video, which we'll get to. You know, just like I did change my mind on Caverna, which that was a whole therapeutic thing. We did that earlier this month, and that was the whole. Now I don't even think I want Caverna on my shelf anymore.
Interesting. Wow.
You know,
so he kind of turned. So
it's not that I don't like. I still like Caverna, but like when I taught Barrows and we played Caverna, I did a good job of making him change his rating and make it go up. But every time I played it, I just wanted to get back to Agricola. I just wanted to get back to that. I like the tightness in Agricola. I like the meanness. You could feel how mean Agricola is. You know, you're you know.
Yeah, it's very limited. Like the things you can do are very limited. I can see how newer games have not wanted to be that brutal.
Yeah.
And so they give you more things to do, and it's not quite as punishing to if the player before you puts their thing on the thing you want, it really can feel maybe feel bad. I don't know. I'm in game 1 3/4 right now, and I've only played online, so I'm definitely not ready to make a review of Agricola.
Yeah,
except
that I
really
solo
like
gaming too, and it does pretty well solo. There's a solo mode for it.
I've heard it plays really well solo. I'm excited for it solo because of, and I'm outing myself of how bad I don't know the rules, but the new items that come out and the different turns, that's randomized, right? Like those come out in a different order
within a degree. They're randomized within a degree. Like the first 4 cards are random amongst themselves. Then the next 3 cards are random amongst themselves.
Got it. Yeah. But you don't know for sure what's coming out next. Right. I say the difference. I have played solo A Feast for Odin.
Yeah.
And I haven't played it very much. And I've heard that the I guess a potential gripe about that over time is that there's not a lot of, or maybe really no randomized setup except for that very first little occupation card you get at the beginning in A Feast for Odin. But the board, the other stuff is all pretty much set. And as amazing as that game is, I think as people, if they play it solo a lot, then you can kind of work out a pattern of what you want to do and you just go do it.
That was my problem with Fields of Arle. Same exact way. Same exact way.
Yeah. But it feels like, but there's enough in Agricola, I think, to mix things up in the midst of it that I could absolutely see playing solo being really cool. Yeah. And I actually saw there was a copy at my local game store. And I opened it up and it was the first edition. And so for me, for those who don't know, I'm colorblind. And so the first edition of Agricola is not colorblind friendly. It uses just different colored cubes for the animals, I think. And it's just not, so it's not a good fit for me. But the second edition of Agricola, I think is, or at least is close enough.
It's better.
That I'd be able to work with it. And I know there's a ton of upgrade parts and stuff for, Agricola's been around for almost 20 years, right? So there's a lot of stuff out there for that. So I'm convinced I'll be able to play it pretty easily. So
this year, 15. It's 15 years this year.
Oh, there you go.
I think they're doing a 15th anniversary thing. They came out with some graphic recently. It's weird, but as soon as Barrows buys a copy, that's what happens. 15th anniversary edition comes out.
Oh man, maybe I'll wait now. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Well, I won't keep you long. I know there's people.
Yeah.
This is cool. Very fun.
Great.
Thanks for having me. And
all right. I'll see you soon.
All right.
Later.
So long. Good to meet everybody.
Bye. Man, this is going cool. Okay. So you might have noticed I haven't contributed to the topic yet, right? I think it's a good time to do so. So I know Barros, co-conductor, is on. I'll bring him in for one blip to kind of bounce off. Hi.
This isn't the Marvel Universe. I'm not blipping anywhere.
No. I'm blipping. Hang on.
All right.
I am blipping with my favorite game of the month, and you know what it is. This right here is Vagrant Song. And let me tell you, Vagrant Song has wowed the socks off of me. I'm not wearing socks right now. It's because of Vagrant Song. So let's talk about this game. Vagrant Song is, let me pull up, I have the thing. Vagrant Song is kind of a boss battler. It is a boss battler. It's a boss battler. So if you played video games that are boss battlers, or even like Cuphead, or in board game form, if you played Kingdom Death Monster, which I never played, it's got that boss battle-y vibe, but it's a campaign as well too. So you level up, and you don't level up, but you get like different skills as you go on. And the game, let me show you how it works. So there's no miniatures. They're all these like acrylic painted standees. And on your turn, you are deciding what actions you're going to do based off of your character. You're putting different coins down to say what you're going to do. And then you carry out the actions. And a lot of them are like, you roll dice and do whatever, right? The rules are very straightforward. Then the bad guys come and attack you. The things that I really like about this game. One, the theme, the story, I actually feel like compelled into this story. And Gloomhaven's my favorite board game of all time right now. I don't care for the story in Gloomhaven, though. I just like the gameplay. The story is easily favorite so far of these games to this ilk. But the second thing I really love about this game is because the rule set is so simple, where you roll dice, and the bad guys, when they attack you, they pull chits from a bag, and they do a different thing based off of what they're doing. The rule set, since it's so simple, the scenario design is what's the interesting part about this. Because each scenario, each bad guy plays so differently. And they did a really great job of really evoking that. It is a game that could have some potential spoilers, but it's not like it's going to ruin your day. Okay? So I'm not going to say any right now, but just know there could be spoilers. But some of the scenarios as you go on, it's really exciting. Though the last scenario I played was pretty bad-ish compared to the other ones. But I'm still having a great time with this game. It's got me hooked. I'm doing a solo campaign of it right now, so I'm just controlling 2 people. And yeah, Vagrant Song. This game is my
You've been
game of the
raving
month.
about it because I asked you to not spoil too much for it because I want to play and experience
Yeah.
it. But you've given me enough to make me excited about it because I like. Don't get me wrong, Gloomhaven. I didn't have a table at the time, so I've got a table to the right of me now. But I can actually like set a game up on. But I got Gloomhaven at one point, and I didn't. It couldn't sit anywhere, so I did like the first 2 things, and it sat in a box since.
Yeah.
Which is sad. I know someone can yell at me about this later.
I will.
It's just the reality. I probably would like Gloomhaven quite a bit, but there's just now all these other games I want to play. But yeah, you've talked about this, and I'm excited because it seems like it's a little bit easier to set up than Gloomhaven. So
It
seems
is.
like to get to the table, it's gonna be easier. Sort of like Jaws of a Lion for Gloomhaven might be a game I would have actually played more. I tend to think now. But sounds like this one's got a good start, which I like. I like the narrative. It doesn't even need to be like critical for me in a game, but when it's got a fun narrative, and even people can laugh about this too, but like even the silliness of like of just a game where you have like 1 or 2 excerpts to read before you do something else. Like,
Yeah.
all right, you're trying, right? You're putting some effort in. So this one sounds like it's got a great narrative, and I think you said it's like probably 30 things or so. Like
it's like 30
it's not like,
scenarios. Yeah.
it's not like 100 scenarios, but it's still a decent amount of scenarios.
Yeah. I think within a campaign, you only play a subset of them.
Ooh.
Because there are forks and stuff, but so far it's been pretty solid, except for that last scenario I played. But
Yeah.
hopefully it just picks back up.
Well, you've impacted me though. I have to say, because there's one thing I didn't answer, so I just want to take this moment to make sure I don't forget about this. You talked about Caverna, and if I don't do this, because when I jumped on at like 9:02 when this started, we played Caverna, and that game is here. It's leaving my collection. It's for sale. New York Zoo is leaving my collection. So those are my other 2. New York Zoo is on its way out.
2 Uves.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I hate New York Zoo.
No, I really don't like New York Zoo either. It's okay.
Yeah, I tried. I thought I liked it. I didn't like it. And it's fine. But after all that, so you improve. The joke really is my score went up from like a 3 or 3.5 or whatever to like a 7 for Caverna. I said, all right, I respect this.
Yeah.
I got a bad teach, whatever, right? Then I played Agricola.
Yeah.
And the score for Caverna dropped again. And just the other day, I got the boxes, they say beat up. It's not really beat up. I don't know what the hell they were talking about. Unopened, all the stuff inside unopened, and it's Agricola.
Yeah.
2nd edition, I believe, is the one
it
was.
It's got the Animeeples.
Yeah, it's got the Animeeples. So I now own Agricola. This is staying in the collection, and this is in a fairly safe spot, I would say. So Agricola not leaving. But yeah, it was just funny. It's such a talk about narrative. I went from not liking Caverna to actually saying this is fine to loving Agricola. I don't even remember what I ranked it, but it's a pretty high score on Board Game Geek for me right now.
Yeah. And so I have upcoming too. I backed Marvel United. Solely because, and I didn't back everything Marvel United. I just want to preface that. I backed the X-Men one because I really want the Doctor Doom from Marvel United. I want to play, because I think Marvel United is a fine game, but I got to play with Doctor Doom now. I got to try it. So as soon as I get it, I'm going to play it, and I don't know. I think most of Marvel United after might just leave my collection. I feel like I just need 1 box of Marvel United. I don't need everything Marvel United. I don't need the Kickstarter craziness, I'm not
Well, that's what
attached.
I was going to have. That's the funniest part for me.
I know.
I was going to have that. My scenario where I never got the thing to fill out. And then by the time they told me I never filled it out, I said, uh-oh. Yeah. And they wouldn't give me my money. They wouldn't give me it. They said I had to either kick my money back or put it into the X-Men one, which costs more. So Like the Marvel United would have cost me more on the X-Men one because I would have had to pay the higher rate. That's why Dead Reckoning's in my house, because I took the money from Marvel United and did Dead Reckoning. So I
And the
guess
Silver Surfer looks cool too.
I kind of owe Come On this one, don't I? Because now I own Dead Reckoning because of them.
Yeah, that's true. You traded up for Dead Reckoning. That is
I
true.
love these pieces when they're painted, though. That's the thing. Probably not like that. I know some people didn't like that style, but I didn't mind it. Yeah, I don't mind that style. I don't.
Yeah, and right, I'm gonna play it when it comes out, because I already played. I played some of the X-Men ones too already.
Yeah.
So I played the regular one. I played the X-Men one. So I'm just gonna hold on when I get the Doom one. I'm just gonna hold on to the characters I want, and then the rest could just go away.
Well, I'm happy to try it. I felt bad because I think I gave off some impression at one point that like I was not going to want to play that. I'm like, no, I'm happy to play the game. I just had I had wanted it all, and I went from wanting it all to getting nothing. So I think I was frustrated for a little while by that, but now I have Dead Reckoning, so I'm happy.
Yeah, it's likely on the chop shelf. The other thing too on my chop shelf. So I'm gonna, I am the one half of the Tabletop Express that's focused on train games. So here we go. I got.
Whoop. I feel like that was a
this
shot
boring
at me
looking game.
Train games.
This boring looking game. Now, this boring looking game is not going to fit in my area of my shelf that has train games here or train games here, which means I'm going to need a third row of train games. So there's like a whole row that's about to get obliterated. So I don't know what's coming off. It's possible Cleopatra's probably going to come off. Your favorite game, Cleopatra and the Society of Architects.
Oh God.
Yeah. It's not a forgiving game. But the good thing is I know someone who would want it, so I'll just give it to him. I like this game still.
You talk about a game that would leave my shelf. It was on it. That game.
That game, yeah.
I have not disliked the game as much as that game experience. Go back. If anyone goes back, we had a 12-hour stream. It's towards the end. It looks cool on the table, by the way, Cleopatra. It looks really freaking
can't say
cool
no to that.
Like, yeah, it looks cool. This is the legitimate proof that just because it looks cool, it's not a good game.
Wow. Wow.
Hey, you could probably say said that about something with mine. Like
Everdell for sure. Park, but right? Go ahead.
So,
anyways, Park.
But I guess my point is, I went 9 turns in a row, not able to take an action because I did not have a card that would allow me to do anything.
Yep.
And that was
it's totally unfair at times. It's a game that has warts for sure. It's a game where in this game, if you collect the most of these tokens, these what were they, corruption tokens? If you collect the most of them, you're out of the game. That's it. And it turned out in our game, it was a 3-player game. You and Squirrel both tied with the most corruption. So you both got eliminated, and scores didn't matter. I was just the last one standing. And that left a sour taste in your guys' mouths. I agree. But I still had a fun time. I like to play with the pieces.
I'm laughing because I was looking. I gave it a 1.5.
Yeah.
Game Geek.
It's pretty low.
There's only one game lower on my list of real game, like real modern games. There's only one lower. Just one.
It's just one? How dare you?
It's not just one. No, just one is a great game. Just one is it's Lost, the game.
That's not a
game. Is no, don't do it.
Yeah.
Unless it's free and you're a Lost fan, put the box. It looks like just a giant DVD box, quite frankly.
That Brian's right. That mechanic is in High Society. And kind of in Fox's Forest, kind of in QE as well too. Because in QE, it's a bidding auction game where you could bid as much money as you want on different pieces of property, but the player who spent the most money at the end is automatically eliminated. And I like that. I like that. Have you played this game? You haven't played this game, have you?
Which one? High Society?
QE.
No, I have. No, I need to play QE.
Yeah.
It's on a list of games to play. I will say I don't mind it in Fox and the Forest, but I don't particularly love Fox and the Forest out of all the games of that type. It's not the one I would jump to, especially when you've got the crew out there. I'm sorry, a lot of games Fox and the Forest have Fox and the Forest, hypothetically, now that I'm thinking about it, I probably should just give that to the library because I'm not going to play any game anytime soon.
I heard there's like a duet version that makes it better.
It is. I've played it. It's slightly better, but it's still, I don't know. The crew and the new version of the crew is better than the original version of the crew. Yeah. So yeah, the crew is still really good. So I think that says a lot in my opinion.
Yeah. All right. Well, this has been a pretty successful call-in show, huh?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, I'm happy I got to bookend it here, but no, I appreciate people all popping in, and if you like it, we certainly would appreciate your feedback. Brian has a good point there about I do as a 2-player game. Fox and Forest is better than the crew, but that is completely accurate. I just mean as a game overall, I think the crew is better, though. I didn't do the new version.
I'm in a long campaign with Bryant on BGA.
Oh, nice.
Well, we're on mission 40 something.
That's one, by the way, we could do. You can do on Board Game Arena, but you got to do it live, obviously. So
we do it not live. You think it works?
It can work. I still like it live, personally.
Sure, I like any game live on.
Yeah,
instead of async.
It's true.
But
it's true. But no, if people like this, I really appreciate. We had some great people popping in tonight. I want to definitely thank everybody who did. Ryan's been wanting to do this for a while, and we had an opportunity this month to do it. I know we're coming back. The next few months are booked up, actually, for On the Table. So Brian will be back on the table next month. I know we've got Jamie Stegmeyer in the queue. And then in May, Danny Lowe and one of my good friends who you've heard me talk about before from my theater days, who reconnects later in my board game days. Risa will be on. I know Risa's up to some good stuff too, so that's going to be May. And then I know I'm in conversations on some other stuff. So we're in a great we got a great amount of on the table guests coming up, but I think this format will translate into its own as we think about.
And I might be teaching Vagrant Song next week. I might.
Yeah.
If I could find a time.
Oh, look, actually, Ryan Farrell's jumping in. Can we
let's add him.
Let's add Ryan in. I'm gonna bounce off and chat with him and close this out.
You could yeah.
I can hang out. It's fine.
Hello, Ryan Farrell, you're on.
How's it going, guys?
How's it going?
This is good. Like the OG of it all too, because Ryan was one of the I could be surrounded by Ryans if I really want to right now. But for those who are watching, Ryan was, what was it? We did, God, what game was it? I'm trying to remember what we did. We just did a live teach of something like a roll and write game, and I cannot remember what the hell it was. It was
I did Railroad Inc. on my stuff once.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So
that was at the very beginning of the pandemic. I was like, man, I got to play with people. I want to hang out with people, make people feel loved. And so, I just put it out there, and we had I put it on my Facebook, and we had almost 50 or 60 people playing virtually at the beginning of the pandemic. It was pretty fun.
Yeah. It was crazy. Yeah. Ryan, why don't you tell them what the topics you had put out?
Me, Ryan. Now, sorry.
Yeah, you, Ryan. Espin.
I'll do Espin for now. So we have 3 topics for tonight. What was your favorite new to you game of the month? What game are you looking forward to trying out next month? And what game currently in your game collection is on the verge of leaving your collection? I'm losing my voice. Sorry.
No, those are great. And I'm sorry for the lack of video. I'm driving right now, so I figure video probably isn't the best bet.
No.
Those are great questions. Okay, so number 1, I can answer that right away. I got my pledge in of Dead Reckoning from AEG. And I've played it 3-player one time and played it solo about 4 times so far. It's a ton of fun. it's a blast. I don't have any other pirate themed games in my collection, so it was like, yeah, why not? I could add a pirate game. And I really, really love John D. Clare's card crafting system that he put in with Mystic Vale and Edge of Darkness. And it fits so cool in this game. Have you guys had a chance to play it yet?
Not yet, but someone else was on the chat, also named Ryan, talking about Dead Reckoning.
Awesome.
Too.
Yeah.
It's
so
two
fun.
out of 2 Ryans approved. Yeah.
I've
There we go.
sleeved it. I've sleeved it at this point. That's what I've done. And I've gone through the rule book, make sure I've understood everything. And I really want to just get it to the table, make some of my opinions from there. But I really, like I said, looking at it, I have a gut instinct I'm going to love it.
It does look cool.
Yeah, it's fun because it's a deck builder, which I feel like everybody loves a deck builder. And
This is the first I'm hearing as a deck builder. I had no idea. It's builder.
Kind of, right? It's the card crafting. So you have everyone starts off with the same deck of 12 cards, and they're your crew, right?
Yeah.
They're your people on your ship. And everything that you're adding to your deck, like a deck builder every turn, you're buying new pieces to add to those cards. So that's the card crafting system. So you're not adding any other cards per se, but your cards are changing drastically every time you use them. Because you can either add new advancements to it that you can purchase, or every turn before you take your turn, when you draw your new hand, you level up one of your cards. So you actually take out, what its base ability was, and it has 4 levels on it. You can level it up to, 4 different times. So it's really, really cool. There's different ways to, change each crewmate and make everyone's completely unique.
Nice. So that's your favorite game of the month?
Yes. Awesome. It's great.
What are you looking forward to next month, if anything?
That's harder.
You don't have to answer it.
That's harder.
You could say
no,
whenever.
I don't know. It's hard because I host a monthly group at my house, and so we have about 12 to 17 people that come every month, which is a lot of fun. So we've got like 3 or 4 tables that are usually with games, and everyone brings their games, but of course then I have all mine. So what am I looking forward to? We played Lost Ruins of Arnak?
Oh yeah.
I played it the one time and I really enjoyed it, but I think that they have the expansion now, which adding all the variability to it and different characters and different powers, that's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm excited to play that one.
Yeah, I still haven't touched the expansion yet. I have it. I haven't touched it yet though.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah. Well, what game is going to leave your shelf, you think? Let's say you get like this big behemoth box. What's falling off?
He did. He got Dead Reckoning. So
yeah.
That's true.
It's not small.
That's true. I've got, the way that my shelves are set up right now, I've got a couple of them facing outward to show the box art. So I've got Dune Imperium, which has been like a game that is constantly hitting the table with my group. Every month when I have that big group over, someone's playing it. But then also throughout the month, I have smaller groups of people over for specific games. And even with those groups, they're still like, can we play Dune Imperium? So that one's always facing out. And Dead Reckoning now, since it's the newest, that's facing out. The art is gorgeous.
Yeah.
So nothing's really leaving. But if something's on the verge of leaving, oh man, it might be Champions of Midgard.
Okay.
Because I've had it. I traded for it a while ago, and I have yet to get it to the table because when people see it, they're like, I would much rather try Feast for Odin if we're going to do a Viking game, or Blood Rage if we're going to do a Viking game.
Right.
So it's kind of a bummer, but I haven't. And that's one thing that I hate is getting rid of a game that I haven't had a chance to play. But I feel a little less bad about it since I actually traded for it rather than purchased it. So
yeah. Did you get it with the expansions and all that too?
I did not. No, they didn't have the expansions when I traded for it. And that's all I keep on reading is that the Valhalla expansion is like necessary to play the game to its fullest.
That's what I've heard too.
It is. I have the beefed up version that has everything of this, and I don't play it anymore. It's on my stays out of. I don't know, like I felt like I had to keep it, but like I really don't need this game anymore because it's not going to go out. The Valhalla expansion is necessary, but in the long run, a game that will be on the table for Ryan as I try to change his mind. Raiders North Sea bumped this completely off because I just liked it better. But when it comes down to it, yeah, Valhalla, you need it, but it's the same way you need the expansion, in my opinion, for Raiders North Sea. But yeah, you need Valhalla. If you don't have Valhalla, you're not going to have the best possible experience with this one. It's kind of like how people talk about Lords of Waterdeep and they say, well, you kind of need the one expansion or some of these other games. Unfortunately, some of those games just require it to really get the best possible experience. I'm wondering if Lost Ruins of Arnik is going to be that experience for me because I like Lost Ruins of Arnik, but I really like the asymmetric capabilities that the expansion adds. And that one bumps it up a notch for me, quite frankly.
Yeah, I've got a couple of those games where I've got the expansions and it feels like I'm never going to not play with them. Like I'm always going to have them in there. Feast of Odin is one of them. I just taught a group of 4 guys, which they wanted to learn with 4, and I'm like, this is going to take forever. But taught them with the Norwegians. Viticulture is another one where I'm like, I'm never not playing with Tuscany. I just have to have it in there. So.
Yeah, that's how it goes with some of these expansions. You know, I mean, I know Terraforming Mars came with tons of expansions too, and I've only played Prelude. I don't know.
Well, yeah, Prelude's the one that I would always keep in there too.
Right. Because there's some games I feel like that might have too many expansions.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
Terraforming Mars is leaving my collection too. Technically, it left my collection. I've just not shipped it, but that one left, and I like Ares Expedition. So I mean, that's the one that I almost talked about earlier. But I like Ares Expedition better. It streamlines it. But I've seen an argument, which is fair, by the way, that the rules book is not perfect. Like it almost expects that you know Terraforming Mars. I don't know if that's true. I need to look at the book a little bit better to say if I agree with that. But I love Ares Expedition. All right, I love that you're on. It's always great. You were on one of the first on the tables actually too, when we actually had you and Teresa on, which was just so great to have everyone there. And of course, always welcome as far as I'm concerned. You know, whenever you want to do something here, you know, you've been part of it from the beginning. So you and Teresa,
top 20 video
you both on is fantastic. But yeah, it's always good to hear from you.
Yeah, well, thanks for taking the call, guys. I'm probably going to lose you now anyways because of my service, so I'll let you go.
Thank you. See you later. All right.
Did you just like chop him off there? Because he
chopped himself off.
I was there. If he chopped him or you chopped him.
I didn't get a chance to chop him. You know.
Well, Ryan, I'd say your idea was a success. There, we're here. It's 10 just after 10:30. We started at 9, so people tuned in. Hopefully, people like this. I would just ask if people have feedback of something they'd like to see about it. Like, let us know because we want to come back with this. We want to do more. I'm guessing we want to do more. I don't want to speak for the proverbial we because I can't.
I want to do more.
Yeah,
they could be its own segment even.
Well, that's I think the direction we go. We try new things over here on the Tabletop Express, right? We like to do things on occasion. We break things.
That's true.
Which is okay. It's okay to break things. We used to have Marvel Monday. I mean,
it was a fantastic Monday. That's for sure.
It was a great.
It was a marvelous Monday. A single Monday. It was the one Monday that was marvelous, right?
Are you gonna keep doing this?
Yeah. Why not?
Well, I appreciate it, and I don't want to say I want to thank everybody who did jump in. Obviously, I recognize it's not everyone wants to get on camera. So, to those of you who those of you who normally don't do it, again, friendly reminder, feel free to pop on and when we do this again and even that audio form as Ryan just did. You don't need to be sitting here. But yeah, we had some great people. Board Game Dads popped, some of the usuals, some of the not usuals. So good night.
It was a great night.
Anything to add before we end it, Ryan? Because this was your baby.
No. Play games. See you next time.
All right. With that, I guess we'll say choo choo.
Yeah. Oh, cardboard time. Yeah, we'll get you the next one later.
We promise we'll get you next time. I will let you know exactly when we'll have it out there, and I'll make sure I ping you with the info on when we do the next one of these.
All right. Bye, guys.
Have a great night, everybody.